Hello. We are back with round 5, or at least we will be in a moment. As soon as everyone has loaded in, we should be underway for qualifying. Why is that not coming through? Right, let's try this again. Oh, it was. I'm just being stupid now. Right, here we are. For round 5, we have Netherlands coming your way for Can-Am here. So we've got a few drivers leaving pit lane early to get on track, get some early laps out, get some early laps in. So we've got, let's jump to, I believe Oro is the first driver out. Yes, he is. Oro is the first driver out for what I believe will be probably a bit of a banker lap for him, no doubt. He's been doing it in previous sessions, sticking a small, well, not a small lap, but a mid lap to start with, then going out for a proper lap towards the end of each session. Pretty good strategy in some respects, but you need to make sure that you get it almost perfect so you don't get held up in too much traffic. We have also got Oro's teammate Adam a few cars behind him. We've got MJ in the Sauber as well, currently out on track. I believe that is Exception just behind. It is, yep, Exception's just behind. And Oro jumps back into the pits. So our first driver to be setting a banker, or not banker lap, so to speak, but potentially one is MJ. He will be going out for, or he will be setting our benchmark for everyone today. So let's see how the Sauber driver does through his first lap. Obviously a 24.8 is the quickest sector 1 time so far. So where can MJ stick this Sauber? We have also got Exception just behind. Oh, and unfortunately we've gone onto his car at the completely wrong time, as he just goes off at turn 7, I believe it is, as MJ comes around to set his, and everyone will set the fastest lap to start with. What can he do here? He has got U60 just ahead of him, and MJ sets us off with a 1:11.0. Nice little benchmark there for the Sauber, and Exception will head into the pits. Let's jump on board. There we go. Adam is the quickest overall. Now I was trying to find his car to see where he was going to put the car, and 7 goes quickest overall now. Who have we got? We need to find the next driver. It is Mr. G goes across the line into 4th place with a 1:10.9. Oliver goes 1:10.6. Anime 1:10.5. Flying laps going in all over the show. 5s so far with a purple sector 1. Sector 2, sorry, looking very, very good so far. McCoy is also pretty close behind him, with 5s getting some DRS here. Let's see the onboard from him as we come to the line. He will go 9th fastest at the minute. His teammate McCoy will go just ahead of him with a 1:11.8. Not a bad little time to start. So we've got Shifty here as well on his flying lap. We've got U60 here, goes 11th fastest at the minute, possibly held up, possibly about to set a more, well, a bit of a quicker time in a moment, as a 1:19.3 is fairly off the pace for Netherlands. So Shifty coming through the left-hander just before the DRS into the end of sector 2 now, up through the final 4 corners we go for Shifty. He's looking fairly good so far. Quite a bit of track for him to get to go, and he will be crossing the line in the next few moments, and he will go 11th fastest of 1:12.2, a pretty good first lap for Shifty there. We'll currently see him through, but we may need to set a time later on in the session. So we have got Ice here looking pretty good, just starting his first lap. He's looked pretty good through the first couple of corners, goes as close to the advertising on the outside of the track there as he possibly can, is to gain as much time through the not so straight there. 7 with another quick lap time, or 1:10.2, flying in the Williams there at the minute. Shifty now as we come through, I don't really know what to call this part of the track, but DRS zone is coming up. He will have it wide open as we come through. He has actually backed out of this lap, unfortunately, so we will go find another driver. We've got Capitano and Exception here. Exception is just ahead, or just coming through the middle section of the track. He is currently quickest overall in that sector as well. What can Exception do in this final third of the track now? He is coming through a fair bit of downforce as well, seeing through there, so he's not bouncing around too much on the exit of the corner, and goes quickest with it 1:10.0. We are seeing some extremely quick lap times in this early part of the session of qualifying, and they are looking extremely quick as well through the middle part of this track. A lot of downforce on this circuit is needed for the majority of it, so running low wings and a low ride height isn't the best idea for Zandvoort. A lot of high speed low speed to medium speed, a few high speed as well, and Capitano goes 12th quickest with a 1:11.6, pretty good there for him. Pizza then follows that up pretty quickly with a 1:11.0. We've got 3 drivers here who haven't set any lap times at the minute, of Doxa, Oro and Will. Are they just seeing it through and waiting till the track's at its best, or towards the end of the session, or are they just generally playing games? And Will takes a bit of a lock up there coming into the hairpin and has a huge slide which will damage his tyres. He may just go in and put a new set of tyres on in a moment, but we are seeing Ice here. He may actually be going in. He's not got a lot of battery left. He's not got much fuel left either. This could be pretty silly if he does stay out, but we'll find out in a minute. And Pizza and Capitano both heading into the pits now. Oro is still in the pits. Will is just trying to keep some tyre temperature at the minute, since he backed out of his lap a moment ago after a small unfortunate moment for him. So he is now pedal to the metal and he's off. He's starting his flying lap now and off he goes. Overtake on to try and get a bit more speed down that straight, as it is quite a long straight for these cars, and he takes turn 1 quite nicely there. doing pretty well in the Ferrari. He is only a reserve for this race. So looking once again like most of the other reserves that come through for races here and there, he will be looking to put his name down for full-time seat for next season. Looking pretty strong so far in this first sector. He is quite a bit up on his previous time, and no doubt about it. What Cam will do in this Ferrari is going to be a rare outing for him at the minute. Early days in the season, and not many chances so far for him. So where can Will stick this Ferrari? Can he get himself well away from the drop zone here? He is looking pretty good, coming up to a minute now, and up to the final part of the track we come. DRS wide open into the final corner, as it is a banking corner, so we can get a lot more speed up there, and he does stay 17th quickest at the minute. That's very unfortunate for Will there in the Ferrari. Just couldn't quite get the lap together that he needed. So Jenson, he is on a flying lap, currently 5th fastest. Doesn't quite believe it's enough to not quite enough to see him stay in that top 5. He has just completely stopped on track, almost caused a collision between himself and, was that Anime, or was that, or Anime has invalidated? It was actually Will that almost went into the back of Jenson there. 7 is just setting flying lap after flying lap at the minute. He's looking very, very good round here. He is on a 1:10.0, half a tenth quicker than Exception currently in P2. Anime in P3 with a 1:10.2. He is just heading into the pits now. Not sure. He will definitely have enough time to get in and out, but whether he chooses to is another matter altogether. What about on, I believe, a flying lap here? No, he's on his way into the pits. Jenson, no doubt. Oh, he is actually going for another. He is still out on track. He was just giving his teammate a huge amount of tow there, and I do not blame him. Trying to get the two Hasses just trying to build away from. Well, making some teamwork, build Capitano away from that bottom 4 there, and do anything they can to do that. Looking pretty good for Capitano so far. He is 2.5 tenths up on his time at the minute. Looking very, very strong for the Haas driver. What can he do through the middle part of this sector 2 here? Looking fairly strong, touches the apex, just hits the apex on the outside of the corner. DRS wide open as we go into this little final part. 6 tenths up on his previous time. Could well hit the 110s here and move himself well out of the way, or well above where he currently is. Looking extremely good as we come down the final part of the track. He is on a 1:10.6. He jumps well into the well above where he was, up into 10th so far. Who's just set? Ice has just smashed his previous lap as well and goes 6th fastest for 1:10.2. Some of these times today are absolutely brilliant. MJ now in the top 3. Looking pretty strong once again in the Sauber. Exception smashing lap times out of nowhere. He's now broken into the 109.9s, and he's just taken 7 to a whole new level at the minute. He's taken Anime to a whole new level. He's not had the easiest starts to a season at the minute. He is currently last season's champion, currently 4th here in the Netherlands, and looking very good to damage that top 3 of MJ7 and Exception. So This is Capitano, currently 10th fastest. We saw his lap a moment ago and was looking pretty good. Here is Doctor, finally able to get a lap, 3.5 minutes to go, and he's on for what looks to be fairly quick at the minute, or at least looks it. The time will tell us in a moment. He is on a 24.8, fairly strong and solid sector 1 there. What can he do through the next 2/3 of the track? He's looking very, very good so far. Takes it quite wide on the exit of them little corners there. Doesn't hit the apex through these ones, and I do not blame him. They can cause the car to go a little bit lopsided. He is quickest through sector 2, overall of 49 seconds in this lap. He has a moment on the exit of the little hairpin there, not what he would have wanted. May have dropped around a 10th through there. Overtake is on, smashing the car down the final part of the track. He goes 8th fastest, great lap time there with a 1:10.5 dead. Brilliant from the Williams driver, putting himself up towards his teammate, and brilliant lap time there for him overall. Where can U60 go? He goes 6th fastest now with 1:10.2, a pretty good time. We jumped on board his car at the right time. Adam, a fairly strong start to the season, struggling here at the minute. Not what he would want right now. Currently 13th fastest, fair bit, around 7/10 off P1, but looking fairly strong at the minute. He seems to be running quite a low car around here today, compared to a few of the other drivers, and pretty strong through sector 2 so far. Did have a little car to contend with there, but where can Adam go? He's backed out of it. Maybe that moment for him was a little bit too much. Oh, is that a bit of frustration there from Adam? Possibly turning into the Haas of Jensen there and ruining both their runs, because Jensen has got some damage on that right hand side of his wing. It's going to cost him massively It's going to cost him massively on this lap, and potentially cost him a top 5 position. Capitano is once again on another flying lap. Who haven't we seen much of today? Right, Oliver. He has looked very good so far, and he's already quickest through sector 1 on his lap. Let's sit on board for the best part of this. Here we go, up to the end of sector 2, and he's a 10th and a bit up on his time, and he's looking, he is actually quickest through both of the first 2 sectors at the minute. Where can Oliver put the Alpine now? Looking fairly strong. Down we go. He will be the first to finish a lap time under out on track, and he does stay 5th fastest. Not the greatest end to lap that he would have wanted. Anime now coming through the final part of this circuit. He is around half a lap away from potentially taking pole. Exception is on provisional pole at the moment. He has backed out, and Exception is going through. Here we go, 7, not quite enough to knock Exception off his pride and joy at the moment of P1. He is still P2, but not very far apart at all. So we've got Exception, who's backed out of his lap. We've got one of the few people that can knock Exception off provisional pole is MJ. He's looking pretty good so far. I didn't quite catch, actually, no, he's backed out of this lap, unfortunately. So Exception has taken pole position here. followed by 7, MJ in third place, 5s will take 4th, Anime will take 5th, Oliver 6th, you, oh wait, this is still, this is still Q1, I don't know actually if we're doing, it is for short qualifying, so yes, Exception has taken pole position, 7 will take 2nd, MJ 3rd, that is your top 3 for qualifying, and then 5s, Anime, Oliver, U60, Ice, Jensen, Mr. G will round off the top 10, Dr. McCoy, Capitano, Adam, Pizza, Shifty, Ago, Oro, I believe, was there. Oh, when we've got a wet race on our hands, that is going to be some difficult conditions to navigate. Luckily, with it being such a high downforce circuit, not many changes will need to be done to wings. They will have, well, hopefully have a good amount of traction coming through some of these corners, but visibility for them is not going to be great. It doesn't look that light at the minute, and they're going to be struggling for traction off the line. I'm going to take a moment's break while the drivers sort everything out. I'll be back in a sec. So we are back, and looking at, obviously we know it's going to be tough out there off the start of the line, so whether it will dry out towards the end of the race, who knows, or it could well be a full wet race, possibly change to the inters towards the end as they move the surface water off the track, but could well be, well, it's definitely going to throw a few surprises. Not everyone towards the front of the grid is brilliant in the wet, but we could see a few from towards the back of the grid that are pretty good in the wet. So here we go then, 3, 2, 1, and we are off for 36 laps of the Netherlands Grand Prix. Exception gets away nicely here, and 7 closely, or trying to get as close as he possibly can, quite clean through turn 1. Doesn't seem to be any major incidents at the towards the middle or the back of the grid. Exception has got away nicely. 7 right up the gearbox already now. Into turn 4 we go, and is pretty close. We have got a yellow flag towards the back here. What is going on there? It is Capitano. He has had a small moment up at turn 5. Not the start of the race he would have wanted, but there is a long way to go. So yeah, it is fully wet. It is wet all the way through this race. It will be, by the looks of that, 2 stops for one strategy and multiple intermediate tyres, or just a single one stop with 2 sets of intermediate tyres. An exception is 2 and a bit tenths away. 7 is has actually broken. Well, the front 2 have now broken away from the lead from the rest of the group at the minute. They are just over a second and a bit ahead. Jensen is currently 5th and drop it in his own little race at the minute. As 7 makes a move up on the inside of turn 1. Does he keep it as we go through turn 2 and 3? Yes, he does. That was a pretty good move on the inside of turn 1 there. Exception just left all the space, well, left as much space as he was possibly could without trying to concede too much, but it was just a bit too much for 7 to see the gap and take full advantage of it. He is already breaking away now. We've got half a second separating the 2 drivers. They haven't swapped positions for very long, but 7 is making the most of that move and the most of being able to see completely in front of him now. This is the view from the drivers, and it's not the greatest, but it's also nowhere near the worst of what it could be. So MJ is hang on. So MJ currently 4th fastest. 7 has well and truly broken away now. He's 1.2 seconds ahead. Evans, I will grab you a link very, very soon for Can-Am. Brilliant league here, and majority of the time extremely clean racing as well. As we are now watching Ego followed by Adam, and Ego's teammate Pizza as well, just a little bit off the picture or off behind. They are extremely close at the minute. Not much separating them, as we know there will be no DRS this race. It will be just pure straight line speed and the effect of the tow from the drivers trying to get through. So we've got a fair bit of movement at the back of the grid here. We've got Anime all the way in 16th in a minute, and not too sure what's just happened between U60 and Anime there. It just looked like they both tried to squeeze each other but didn't quite work. 2 does not go into 1 like that through a corner. Just does not work whatsoever. He's got Anime now does have Will on the back of him there, just going to bring his team out, try and stick to the back of his teammate and see himself through up through the grid. So we have got the two Ferraris down in 14th, 15th. We've got Ice in the Alpine, just a little bit ahead of them and looking to try and make a move on McCoy as we head into the main straight in a moment. 7 just once again setting fastest lap after fastest lap. He is 2.5 seconds ahead now of Exception, whose lead at the front unfortunately didn't last very long, but we still have 31 laps of this race. Anything is possible, anything can happen at the pit stops. Mate, can you point me back to the race? Yes, of course I can. Oh wait, have I got you? Doctor, if you can add me, it's PFC 23 Bucko. I'll accept it and I'll invite you straight back in. Oh crap, wrong button. Have I got you, or am I just being blind?
No.
I can't add you unfortunately while it's in. I'll have to, I can't add you while I'm in the session. You can add me through the menus. You can add people, but while you're in a session you're not able to. It's weird. It's messed up from what I remember. Yeah. No, I can't. Right, that's my EA. As soon as I've added you, I can send you an invite. So, Ice, currently still 13th, he has looked pretty good so far. Has gained a bit of a gap from the cars behind him, looking pretty strong so far. Track seems to be drying out quite nicely at the minute as well between through certain areas. That left-hander does not look too good though. The rain just pouring straight onto the racing line at the bank corner. Not going to be pretty for drivers as they go round it. Ago and Pizza just sitting up quite nicely behind. Mr. G trying to make some moves, didn't quite pay off there. Was overtaken by Adam, who is now 8th place, looking for this looking for a title charge is Adam, and looking for a title charge, looking very strong so far. Nothing's come through, unfortunately, Doctor. Servers have, or I don't know if it's the servers crap themselves or someone else has crapped itself. That was a pretty good shot of the cars coming through the banked corners there. Looked very good indeed. Adam currently 8th place, it's second and a half now of the Red Bull of Mr. G, just trying to get on to the back of his teammate Olo, who's moved up a fair few places this race. He's moved up 11 places this race. Pretty good drive so far. Adam has also done the same. They both started towards the back of the grid. PC. Yeah, both started towards the back of the grid. They've made their way up nicely in its early stages of the race. What else can Olo, especially, who's currently on the back of fives and MJ, what else can the two Aston Martin drivers do? They are currently also leading the the Constructors' Championship, so a very strong position for them as well there. There you go. Sorry, Doctor, it took so long. Yeah, bit of a hectic one tonight. So, MJ5's Oro still battling it out. The track seems to be driving through Sector 2 at the minute, looking quite positive for a few of these drivers. What else can they do? We've got Exception is slowly gaining again on 7, who was at one point in this race 5 seconds ahead. We've had a fair few battles up and down this grid. We've sat and watched a good little one between the two Mercedes and the other McLaren of McCoy and Mr. G. In fact, as we look down the timing screens there, Ago is now up into 9th place. He's moved up a few places. We've got 5's Oro, MJ here. 7 has jumped into the pits. He's done an early stop here. He's caught everyone by surprise by the looks of it. What else will 7 throw up in this race? He's had a bit of a slow getaway there. Not what he would have wanted whatsoever. He's now down into 13th place and he's got a long stint ahead of him. And Doctor looks like he's just been absolutely robbed. What is going on here? I think that's just robbed you, Doctor. I generally feel that's just robbed you there. So yeah, Shifty currently in 18th place. Yeah. You are not going to be happy about that. It's damn game. Right, so Exception is currently currently first. Oliver has the fastest lap currently in P3. We've got a 2/10 gap between the top two at the minute. Could this be a little battle that goes a good distance of the race? We've got 7 currently in 13th. He has dropped down to to there after his pit stop. So what can the Haas and the Red Bull do here in the top two? We've got the Alpine of Oliver as well, currently third, looking extremely good for gaining on these two drivers, just dipping into the damp part of the track there to try and cool his tyres down. It is not going to be easy in parts of this track. It won't be not always the easiest of tracks to cool tyres down, especially on a dry one when you've got the intermediates on as we have here. So once again dips in to the cold, the damp part of the track, except Oro sets a fastest lap now of 19.6. He is currently 4th overall. He has had a very good drive so far in the Aston Martin, trying to do whatever they can to bring maximum points back and keep, I believe they are still top spot. I know I said they were earlier, but I will double check. From what I remember, they are definitely top spot. Yes, they are. They have a huge lead over Ferrari at the minute. 38 point. Well, it's huge. Not as huge exactly, but it is a pretty big lead at the minute of 38 points to Ferrari. Oro and Adam are going to try and do whatever they can after a fairly, for their standards at the minute, pretty poor qualifying. Oro has got a damaged wing. It's not going to be helping him whatsoever in this first stint of his. He will need to get that changed as soon as he goes in to get fresh tyres. He will probably want to get that wing changed and try and pick up some more speed in the first two set parts of the track. He has just set a purple sector 3 though, so it can't be damaging his race too much now at the minute. So Jenson and Exception looking very good at the minute. We've got less than half a second between these two, and they are pulling away from the guys behind them, looking fairly strong. And these two once again were battling in second and third earlier on. They're going to take this battle probably all race long, and after a little mistake from Exception a moment ago, it has brought Oliver back into contention with these two. It is now 7 tenths between the three of them here. It is going to be a battle that goes until hopefully the end of the race between these three drivers. If not, it will definitely go until one of them boxes and possibly early like 7 did, or maybe they are just gonna possibly go as long as they can on these tyres and hope that it starts to dry up at some point soon. So as we look further down, we have got McCoy and Ago battling out for P8 at the minute. A bit of a gap between the two of them at the moment though, but still fairly close between them, and these two can race quite nicely towards each other, and pretty good, pretty respectful battling between these two most of the time as well. They have done very well in most races. McCoy and Mr. G are currently, where are they respectively in the standings? Let's have a little look. So McLaren are currently third in the standings, only a point behind Ferrari, 39 points behind Aston Martin. So McCoy's points here will be very crucial to the team and to move them up into second at the end of this, potentially second at the end of this race, with both Ferraris having a bit of an off race at the minute. So with 5 being 5th and McCoy being 9th, this is going to be some good points for McLaren, and we'll definitely see them move up the standings. We'll come back to that battle in a minute. We have got Jenson here, who is first at the minute. He is 8 places up in this race. Oro's 15 places up in P3. Oliver is also now right on the back of this battle for top spot. There's a 4-way battle for 3 podium positions. This is going to be an extremely tight battle now till again hopefully till the end of this race. If not, it will definitely go till when the 4 of them box. It could be any time, anything over the next probably 5 to yeah, I'm gonna say probably next 5 laps or so, maybe maybe less, or more than likely less than that. So they are gonna have, yeah, definitely minimum 2 laps, I reckon. Maximum 5 before one of them stops. This could be a very close one right till the end. We have got Oro there trying to make a move on Exception into turn 1 we go, and he is just behind. He has still got that damaged wing, so doing extremely well to keep pace with the front 2 drivers at the minute. Nice little dry patch in that part of the circuit. Could we potentially see dry tyres in the next 10 to 15 laps maybe? Could we see a huge jump in the pits at the end of this race? Are they just trying to get as much of a dry line as possible? Obviously, what I see here could be different to what the drivers see, but to me, it looks like we could see some dry tyres towards the end of this. We have got a safety car here who has crashed. I did see a couple of cars go slowly a moment ago, and I believe it was Ago and Exception with a small collision. Not Ago and Exception, Ago and McCoy, sorry, with a bit of a collision a moment ago, possibly. I could be wrong, so if anyone has information on what's just happened, it looks to me that it was them two with a bit of a moment towards each other. So we will have... So Oliver just got a 10-second penalty for a collision. What random tap just happened? It couldn't have been that bad, surely. They're in the pit lanes. So, this is gonna really shake some stuff up now in the grid. We've now got a few drivers with 10-second penalties for potentially just random little... Oh, we've got a double stop that did not work for the Saubers. U60 has just had to wait for about 5 seconds behind his teammate MJ, and it's going to cost him dearly in this... it's going to cost him dearly at this safety car restart, no doubt. He has now dropped a few positions. He's going to have to get past... He's going to have to get past Will. He's going to have to get past Anime. Mr. G. It's not an easy task with some of the drivers ahead of him. They are all pretty quick. U60, don't get me wrong, is quick on, when he wants to be, and things like that. But with some of the drivers ahead, he's going to have a bit of a task once the safety car goes in. Most of the grid has got behind it. Just... yeah, about 9 cars. About 9 cars to catch up. So, as we were saying just before, Oliver now has a 20-second time penalty for ignoring yellow flags this time around. What a random bunch of penalties we've seen happen here since the safety cars come out. Bit strange, to be honest, but this is the F1 game and anything is possible on it. But as we were saying just before the safety car come out, we were talking about the McCoy. Well, we were talking about McCoy, and I believe who was it at the time? I want to say Adam. Or was it Mr. G? Either way, McCoy, he has had a fairly strong start to the season. He's had 3 top 5s, 1 P2 so far. So he has got a podium this season. He is sitting 5th in the standings. And obviously, as we were saying, with the team as well, McLaren, they are currently 3rd in the constructors. So pretty good season overall for them at the moment. As we head to the midway point of round 5, McLaren and McCoy and McLaren are looking pretty strong for the second, or going in to the next few rounds after this one. So pretty good season so far for them. Heading on to 5s now. McCoy's teammate, they are sat a couple of places below, in 8th place at the minute in the drivers on 39 points, only 6 points behind his teammate. Pretty close in that McLaren team. Very strong lineup is it with these two. They have got some pretty good, they are pretty clean drivers. They try to keep themselves out of as much trouble as they possibly can. So 5s has had 1 DNF this season, hasn't hampered him too much whatsoever. Currently 4th in this race, so could be adding a huge haul of points to his total and McLaren's total. They are gonna, no doubt, will be P2 after this race in the standings. So all to play for at the minute, halfway through the season. They could like they did in real life, could well mount a title challenge towards the end of the year if they keep up the good work that they've been doing so far. So safety car is on its way in this lap. Let's jump on board. Capitano's just left. Let's quickly invite him. So here we go, just that quickly, and Jensen has gone. He did go just before the final corner, and heading into turn 1, he is still ahead, leaving turn 1 as well. Exception Oro 5 very close behind. Ice has retired from this race. That is unfortunate to see with the Alpine driver. Been very tough for him in this race as well, not exactly gone to plan for him at times. And we have got a safety car. Why have we got a safety car? Huh? Not too sure what the safety car is for this time around, but we go with it. Doctor, that's fine, mate, not a problem. Oh, Jensen has just had his race completely screwed up a little bit there. I need to get rid of that chat box off repair quickly. So while we line up behind the safety car, it is no doubt going to go into support of the bear wheel at the moment. Right, there we go. That's a bit better, it's not going to be actually straight out. Perfect. So we have got our second safety car within 2 and a bit laps here. What a strange turn of events we've got. Looking to be an extremely good race with not many interruptions to it, and now we've had 2 safety cars in the space of 3 laps. What else could turn this race upside down? Other than a few random penalties here and there, Mr. G is also on 20 seconds. Oliver has just served his 10 seconds, so that sees him drop to basically the back of the grid. 7, I believe, just had one as well, so he's just served that. Or just fresh tyres potentially here. That looks extremely dry on that part of the circuit. What tyres are drivers on at the minute? Are they all on the Inter still? Or have they changed? May as well keep looking out for people leaving, because it's been a bit of a strange lobby today. Everyone doing a hokey cokey and being in and out of it. So we are potentially going to see it go in this lap. Wasn't out for many laps last time, so we could see it go in. Not this time around, unfortunately. So we will probably see just one more lap before it disappears for... Oh, it is going in this lap. It is a bit of a late call from the safety car, but it is in this lap. When will Jensen go? When will he push that throttle down? And we've got exception being... Oh, we've had a bit of a contact there between the top 3 drivers. Jensen just giving everyone... just giving everyone a little... pretty much a little taste of when he was going to go. Didn't fully brake or slow down properly though, so it is good to go on that one by the looks of it. So here we go, he is half a second ahead. He's got a drive-through to serve. He will have a 10-second penalty also to serve at some point in this race, or potentially leave it till the end, but it's going to hamper him massively. And still saying safety car, but that is a complete lie. We do not have another one, so that just needs to go bye-bye, but it probably won't. Jensen exception, Oro, Fives, Adam, Ago, McCoy, Pizza, Mr. G, MJ, currently your top 10 drivers. They are all having pretty good races in these tough conditions, although parts of the track do look dry enough to switch, others do not. So there's going to be a tough choice potentially towards the end of this, but we are no doubt just going to be... We do have another safety car here, not too sure what has happened though. Oh, there's a bit of damage there to Oliver's car, potentially some damage to Capitano's car. I have sent Capitano another invite, not too sure what's gone on with it. Sorry Capitano, I'll send that now if you're... There you go mate, all sent. So, now it's saying virtual safety car. How is it a virtual safety car when the safety car is out on track? What is going on? Too sure what Oliver's doing here, probably just trying to get some heat into them tyres. It is going to be extremely cold coming out the pit lane with them. This could potentially has Jensen still... does still have that drive through. This could potentially screw Jensen up a little bit with this drive through. He may, I've seen it happen to a few people, he may get disqualified for not serving it in time, when he quite clearly can't serve it in time. So, Jensen obviously has caught up to the safety car. Oliver has just retired. He does not feel he can get much from this race, unfortunately, for the Alpine driver. So, with 11, about to be 11 laps to go, we are behind the safety car. Jensen has got a drive-through penalty and a 10-second penalty to deal with at some point in a moment. Everyone just trying to keep tyres. Oh my days, have we had more contact from couple of the drivers here. We've got Oro there with his broken wing once again. Don't know if he got that fixed actually in his stop. He has done one now. Not too sure if he got his wing fixed at all in that previous stop. But we'll see how he goes in the second half of this race. Could it be more damage though than previous wing damage? Could it hamper him much more? So potentially one more lap behind the safety car. We will probably be in, hopefully at the end of next lap. We've got Shifty, Will, Capitano to catch up. Not too far behind. We've got 7 going for the world record of pit stops in Zandvoort. So far he's done 5. He could. There is still time for him to do a few more in this race. We'll just nipping past the Ferrari there, trying to make the most out of this safety car. So like one before, let's talk about a couple of drivers. Who haven't we said too much about today? So let's talk about the racing ball of Shifty for a moment. We have got safety car in at the end of this lap. Just a quick one on Shifty. Currently in 14th place, safety car has helped us try to pay dividends for him in this race. Could he, well, have a bit of a surprise up his sleeve and aim for the top 10 in this race? Currently 14th in here. Not the easiest of starts to the season for him. Currently seeing himself bottom of the standings, but in fact, yeah, not the easiest start for them, but plenty of the season left to go. Can Shifty put himself away from the bottom step and see himself move up a few places come the end of the season? It's been a very, very tough start. Not exactly a very, very tough start, but not exactly the easiest start. And Will has had a spin in the background there. Not what he would have wanted on the safety car restart. Shifty has also got a bit of wing damage there. We have just seen Capitano head into the pits and retire. I don't blame him too much. It's not been the easiest of races for some of these drivers today. A lot of few disconnections for some people. So could well be not risking another disconnection and ruining his race too much more. But Capitano's teammate Jenson currently leading this race at the minute, looking pretty strong in the lead here, is 6 tenths ahead. Does carry a couple of penalties with him though, and he could well take that now. He has stayed out and sets the fastest lap of the race so far, or 1:18.9. Pretty good lap time there for the Haas driver. He will need to box out in the next lap or so, just so the game doesn't disqualify him and ruin what's been a pretty good race for him so far. Don't want that camera right now, thank you EA. Not the one I want. That's a better angle, there we go. Exception now, 2 tenths quicker on this lap, looking very, very good so far, and he could well take the lead off Jenson at the end of this lap as well. What is going to happen in these next 7 and a bit laps of this race is gone pretty well. The first half went fairly quickly, the second half of the race has gone a little bit slower due to the safety cars we've had. 3 in the space of, I believe it was 7 laps, I think it was. Not entirely sure why. Not every driver DNF'd on track. I think it was just for debris on the track. And Jenson has jumped into the pits. Did he just set fastest lap in the pit lane for a moment then? That's insane if that just happened. No, we wouldn't. No, we can't have done. No, we wouldn't have done. So Exception has retaken the lead of this race, qualified first, looking pretty strong now to take home what could be a win for him in this race. So he is 1.5 seconds ahead. Adam now and Oro up in the top 3 from a pretty dodgy qualifying on them two. Oh no, Adam has had a moment. Don't know if he got caught by fives there. Could well be a decision going to the stewards in the race for review, but once again, anything and everything is happening in these races. It's been pretty clean for the first half now. People have realised it's getting towards the end of the race. They are trying whatever they can to make the most of it. Safety cars has slowed things down for definite, and now the two McLarens look to be working together to seal 3rd and 4th at the minute. Pretty strong race for both of these two at the minute. 5 McCoy in 3rd and 4th, followed by the 2 Mercedes in 5th and 6th. They are having pretty good races at the minute. This could well be the team's highest finish of the season. I am just gonna double check though. No, Pizza has had a top 5 finish this season. I'm not sure if that was 4th or 5th, but they could equal with Ego in the top 5 currently. Adam has just overtaken Pizza though for P6. Little bit of a lock up there from Pizza in the Mercedes, but just behind. And he is going to want to try and get that 6th place back from Adam as quick as possible, but Adam has got some serious pace right now in that Aston Martin, and he's closing down Adam as quickly, he's closing down Ego as quick as he possibly can. Pizza though right on the back of him with a bit more battery than his Aston Martin rival of Adam at the minute. Only rivals in this race at the moment, though, not anywhere else as it stands. But a pretty good race so far, as Will has unfortunately just been lapped by the top 6 here. Ego now 7 tenths ahead of Adam. I'll rephrase it to that way around. And looking pretty good. What can Adam do round these next few corners? We have got 4.5 laps of racing to go. Exception and Oro are out in the lead of this race at the minute. They are heading through the final couple of corners in a minute, as we see Adam and Ego heading there now. They've looked pretty decent round this lap. What else can they throw as a little surprise? Head into turn 2 quickly for turn 1 quickly for the lead of this race. It is still Exception followed by Oro with 5s and McCoy still strong in 3rd and 4th at the minute. Adam has just moved up to 5th place, knocking the 2 Mercedes down into 6th and 7th now. They are going to try and Ego will try and do what he can now to gain that position back. He has got a fair bit of battery compared to Adam, and he is just using as much as he can. He's going to need to gain as much back as he can as well for the main straight once we get there, because Ego will no doubt just clear him pretty quickly with the amount of battery he's got in a minute as well. Anime making some places back up to 8th, back up into the points he is. Didn't exactly have the easiest start to the race, got knocked down to pretty much the back of the grid. He's made it back to 8th at the minute. So what can he do to make it back to at least potentially where he started in this race in 5th? He isn't too far off, he's about 5 seconds off, but with only 2 and a bit laps to go, it's going to be one tough ask. But 8th place, it will still be points for the Ferrari team, and it will still be points for Anime. Will be some hard worked ones as well, and probably will be frustrated by the start, but could well be pretty pleased come the end of the race if he can get a nice little points finish here as well. Justin MJ unfortunately had a moment that brought out the yellow flag a second ago in the end of sector 2 there at the start of sector 3. Tough race for both the Saubers at the minute. So we will have in a moment 2 racing laps left of lap 35 and lap 36. We've got Adam really close now to a podium position. He is absolutely on fire this season. Nothing has held him back. He is just flying through the field at the minute. He's looked so strong this season. He feels like nothing can stop him at the minute. He could well retake the lead of the championship at the end of this race as well. He's already won 2 races this season. He's had 3 top 5s. So anything for Adam right now is very possible. Looking fairly strong as well. What can he do as we head into the final part of the track, part of this lap? As we saw Fives just have a bit of a moment there. His teammate has also got ahead of him. That was some good little bit of manoeuvring from the 2 drivers there. Not the easiest as they were both wobbling around that corner. So have the 2 McLarens here played a good team game? Wrong button. Have the 2 McLarens played a good little game here? Let one McLaren go past, the other hold the chasing Aston Martin back a little bit. They've put a 2.5 second gap between McCoy and Adam. Could that have been tactics, or was it just see what they can do and hope for the best at times? So we are actually on the final lap of the race. These 2 laps have gone very quickly. McCoy 2.5 seconds behind. He isn't actually that far off the lead. If these 2 keep up the battle in the way they are going, anything is quite literally possible with these guys. So, although exception just under 3 tenths. Oh, there goes my phone. See you later. Although an exception, 4 tenths separating the 2 drivers now. Exception looking for a very good result and potentially his first win. And he is across the line, followed by Oro McCoy, Lee finishing your podium. Adam and Fives are there. Ago, Pizza, Anime. Jensen will be the 9th driver across the line. He did not have the easiest race after the safety car come out. He does finish 9th. Mr. G in 10th. 7, your current championship leader, unfortunately for him, will come across the line in 11th. A very tough race for him. That early stop did not pay off for him in lap 6, I believe it was. He boxed early for fresh. for fresh intermediates there. He did finish the race though on medium tyres. Interesting strategy there for 7. But very fair play to him. Adam has been given driver of the day via the game. Very fair play to him. Fantastic drive for the Aston Martin. In fact, both Aston Martins actually had pretty good races overall. Voda, you are very welcome. So, Exception, Oro and McCoy are your podium here. Pretty good race between the 3 of them. Threw a lot of surprises at each other as well. So, Oro did finish ahead. Pretty sure of it. So, Anime 7 done 50,000 stops in this race. Got a few drivers tested out the mediums towards the end. Capitano's, don't know why it went 4 mediums for them at times. But yeah, very, very tough race at times. Chucking it down with rain the whole way. Not the easiest one at times either. But a very good drive for everyone involved. And we'll be looking forward to our next race, which will be in a week's time over in, I will just have a little look. So our next race will be in a week's time around the tight streets of Monaco. So a lot to play for there. Anything is very, very possible. And thank you everyone for watching. Until next week, I have been Barco. Enjoy your week, and we will see you next time.